Hello, it is Reviews Day Tuesday. How are you? How has your weekend been? I was planning on going to the cinema yesterday and reviewing what I watched today. Unfortunately, that plan has fallen through. So today, instead of that review, I decided that I was going to do an old school sort of mouse reviews, where I just do a bunch of short reviews of several different things. I thought that would be fun. I'm going to review 2 TV shows / Netflix shows and a film, and these reviews are going to be not spoilery, so no spoilers here. I'm going to start with The Good Place, the US comedy fantasy series. I've just finished season 1, so that is what I'm going to be reviewing today. Season 2 is currently being uploaded on Netflix on a weekly basis. It's a show that I started watching pretty much entirely based on its premise, which is that Eleanor, played by Kristen Bell, dies and wakes up in the afterlife, the Good Place, a utopia designed by Michael, played by Ted Danson. But there's a problem, which is that she's not actually a good person. There's been a mistake. She shouldn't really be there, and she must try and hide that with the initially reluctant help of Chidi, her soulmate, because everybody in The Good Place gets paired up with a soulmate when they arrive. I love this premise so much. It's so original and interesting, and I wasn't disappointed. I felt like it lived up to my expectations. As always, it's the characters which make or break a story in any medium for me, and I love the characters in this. Ellie is a fantastic lead. She's not a sympathetic character often, or even most of the time, but you will her on. And I love Chidi as well, played by William Jackson Harper. He's probably my favourite character. And Jamila Jamil plays Tahani, Ellie's neighbour. And I know Jamila from presenting on T4, so that was really interesting. And I love Tahani's relationship with Ellie. Yeah, it's a really good show, and I would very much recommend it. It's probably one of my favourite comedies now that is currently on air. It has some very nice twists. It has a good tone and pace, and it's really funny. There are also some really nice details in The Good Place, the neighbourhood they are in, like names of restaurants and stuff. I can't wait to watch season 2. I'm going to start it as soon as possible. About midway through season 1, I was wondering how they were going to make a second season, but now I know, and I'm very excited to see where they go. I will give The Good Place season 1 4.4 out of 5. Now, another show on Netflix, Marvel's The Punisher, starring Jon Bernthal. It's a spin-off from Daredevil, and this first season follows Frank Castle, the Punisher. After taking revenge on the people who killed his family, he uncovers a greater conspiracy. This show arrived on Netflix in November, but I've only just finished it. It has 13 episodes, and it has been renewed for a second season. I was very excited about the show when I heard it was going to exist. The Punisher was one of my favourite things about Daredevil season 2. I love the character. I love Bernthal's performance as him. His performance as the Punisher is probably one of my favourite Marvel performances just in general across the Netflix shows, the other TV shows and the films, and this first season more or less lived up to my excitement and my expectations. It goes into more depth on his character, which I enjoyed and, would expect. And there are some interesting themes like the transition of a soldier to civilian life and brotherhood and male friendship. I especially like the relationship between Frank and Micro, who arrives in this series. Also, as you might expect from The Punisher, it's a very violent show, and there are some great action sequences. Like some of the other Marvel Netflix shows, it does feel overlong often. Some elements I feel could have been set aside and the show would have been pacier, and I feel like the pace overall was a bit uneven between episodes and also within the episodes themselves. I also feel like the whole morality question with regards to the Punisher's actions and motivations wasn't expanded on as much as I would have expected. It was touched on a bit, I guess, but not explored as much as you would hope from a Punisher TV series. I feel like the opportunity was missed a little bit to delve into Frank Castle's MO and the contrast between him and the other Marvel heroes. It perhaps didn't go down that path as much as I would have liked. It didn't really open that particular can of worms. But overall, it was an exciting show, and I'm really looking forward to season 2. I'm not sure where I'd rank it among Marvel Netflix shows. I'd probably put it somewhere in the middle. Daredevil season 1 and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are probably still my favourites. I think I'll give The Punisher 3.9 out of 5. Almost a 4, but I'll give it a 3.9. And now finally, let's stick with Marvel. I recently bought all the DVDs for the Marvel films that I have yet to watch so that I can catch up in time to see Black Panther in the cinema. So I got Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Spider-Man Homecoming. Those are the Marvel films that I had yet to see. And this weekend I finally started watching those DVDs, so today I am briefly going to talk about Captain America Civil War. This is a Captain America film, obviously, but as the Marvel Cinematic Universe gets bigger with more characters populating it, all of the films are becoming kind of Avengers films. And this is, I would say, the most Avengery film, which isn't actually an Avengers film. It's definitely more of an ensemble piece. After the UN decide to try and establish a panel to oversee the Avengers, the team fractures into two camps: those who welcome the oversight, or at least those who understand the reasons behind it and are willing to accept it because they feel like they need to be more accountable and responsible, and then those who do not welcome the UN's intervention. They do not trust it. They do not have faith in this structure being successful. They want to police themselves. They want to use their own judgment. Tony Stark, Iron Man, is of the former opinion, among others, and Steve Rogers, Captain America, is of the latter opinion, among others. And after it appears that Bucky Barnes has bombed the place in Vienna where the talks were being held, things fracture a little bit more due to Steve's relationship with Bucky. I really enjoyed this film. It was entertaining. I mean, pretty much all of the Marvel films are enjoyable and entertaining. I enjoyed the questions it raised and the theme of responsibility, although I did feel like some characters were on particular sides just at the flip of a coin. We didn't explore most of the characters' motivations in this film, which, I mean, would have been tricky considering how many characters were in this film. But then some of the characters were not on the side that I would have perhaps expected them to be on, so I feel like that exploration could have helped clarify things. I really enjoyed the introduction of T'Challa, Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman is amazing and I'm very excited about the character. We also have the introduction of Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and given just what I've seen of him in this film, he's definitely my favourite Spider-Man so far. To be honest, when I'm thinking about Captain America Civil War, I am mainly thinking about the introduction of those two characters. There were so many characters in the film and set pieces, and who is good and who is bad, and lots of globe-trotting as well, which was enjoyable as a film to watch, but it does mean a little bit for me that the film is now kind of blurred together. But overall, I think it was a really good Marvel film. There were some great moments, and it's left me more excited about Infinity War, and most importantly, about Black Panther. I'm inclined to give Captain America Civil War 3.9 out of 5 as well. Almost 4 out of 5 as well. So those are my reviews today. I would love to know what you think about any of these things if you have seen them. Please highlight any spoilers so that people can avoid them if they want to. Let's move across to the end screen. If you would like to see some more reviews from me, then you can do so below me here. And my latest video will be below me here. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel or visit my website, then you can do so beside me here. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you later on in the week.